Bienvenidos a otra lección de nuestra maestra. Hoy vamos a aprender cómo se usa y las diferentes formas y conjugaciones del presente del subjuntivo. The subjunctive, it's important that we understand that it is a mood more than it is a tense. A tense usually tells us when an action takes place, like is it past, is it present, is it future. Understanding that the subjunctive is a mood, you will understand that it can be subjective, that the action is possible but not certain, not guaranteed. We use it when we talk about doubts, wishes, emotions, and anything that we're not entirely sure of. It is something that we use commonly when we're making recommendations, when we're giving commands, and when we're talking about how something makes us feel. I'm going to use an example of the subjunctive being used about making a recommendation. I suggest that you study for the quiz. Sugiero que tú estudies, we see our verb there being used in the subjunctive, para la prueba. Now that we have seen an example of a verb used in the subjunctive, as we have right here with the word estudies, that I am highlighting the word in red. Now that we've seen an example, let's take a look at how it is that the subjunctive is formed. In order to form the subjunctive, you must take the yo form of the present indicative. If, let's say, the verb tener, to have, you go with the yo form of the present indicative, which is tengo. We then remove the O, that is what step 2 is telling us to do. So if we remove the O, we are left with teng, no O. And then it says to put in the opposite, opuestas, the opposite endings. The verb tener, as we see here, is an ER verb. So if it's an ER verb, we are going to add the opposite endings of the present indicative tense. So ER verbs will get a ending. So the subjunctive, the yo form of the subjunctive of tener becomes yo tenga, tú tengas, él, ella, or the usted form tenga, nosotros tengamos, okay, y ustedes or ellos tengan. These endings that I've got in here are because we're using a endings, because tener is an ER verb. And the way we got our G here is because the present tense, the present indicative tense of the verb tener is tengo, and step 1 is to begin with the yo form of the present indicative tense. Let's do an example with salir, following those steps that we learned in the previous slide. If we take the verb salir, the yo form of the present indicative is salgo. If we remove the O, we are left with SALG. And it's an IR verb. So ER and IR have the same endings. The opposite are verbs that end endings in A. So que yo salga, tú salgas, él, ella o usted salga, nosotros salgamos, y ustedes salgan. We just conjugated the verb salir. Por ejemplo, este chico up here, let's name him Paco. And let's name this guy Nico. Paco quiere que Nico, what? Que Nico, ¿qué? Que él, Nico, salga. Paco quiere que Nico salga. Paco wants that Nico, I didn't give him a no, that Nico leaves. Here we have examples of the present subjunctive using all of the regular verb endings. For example, cantar, an AR verb, tener, an ER verb, escribir, an IR verb. Here is the conjugation chart, if you will, and here are the endings. Es, hemos, en, and for ER and IR, the endings are the same. A, as, a, amos, and an. Vamos a practicar un poco. La maestra quiere que nosotros, we must conjugate the verb estudiar, the verb in parentheses, in the nosotros form, of course, using the present subjunctive. So, la maestra quiere que nosotros estudiar para el examen. Que nosotros is an AR verb. Estudio would be the yo form, but we're not using that O, we're dropping it. It's an AR, the ending will be an E. And because it's nosotros, estudiemos. Muy bien. Número 2. Yo quiero que tú hacer algo por mí. Remember, the yo form of hacer in the present indicative is hago, but we're not using that O. So we will begin with H-A-G. It's an ER verb. That means it is going to have an A ending. It's the tú form that we need. Yo quiero que tú hagas algo por mí. I want that you do something for me. Y finalmente, la número 3. Mi novia quiere que yo, we're going to conjugate the yo form of the verb escribir. It's an IR verb, therefore it will get an A ending. Mi novia quiere que yo le escriba. Vamos a parar ahí. We're going to pretend that we had an O. We dropped the O. IR, it's going to get an A ending. Que yo le escriba un poema de amor. Mi novia quiere que yo le escriba un poema de amor. Chicos, nuevamente, muchas gracias por su atención. Espero que hayan tomado buenos apuntes. Obviamente pueden repetir este video cuantas veces sea necesario para que ustedes lo entiendan. Muchísimas gracias y hasta pronto.